Hi there.
Hello.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Toby.
And we think we might have solved our technical issues. So welcome to
Naomi and the Dragon
Milk and Cookies episode.
I'm going to drink the milk. It's good.
Of course.
So we wanted to show you a couple of cool things that you can do when you're making art. Because we figure if you're backing this, you're probably like us and you like to make things, make art. So do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So what I was going to show is just some really basic stuff for drawing. When you're drawing a person or a human being, one of the biggest problems that we have is that things come out misproportionate. And we'll get frustrated because we don't know why. There's actually a very simple formula, and you can use this at home for drawing a properly proportioned adult. And the proportions are slightly different if, like, you're drawing a child or a teenager, or if you're doing a different style like chibi. And hopefully I'll get a chance to show you that too. The trick to proportions, can we tilt the camera down a little bit? The trick to proportions is what we call the rule of heads. Off with their head. Basically, we use the size of a person's head as the rubric by which we measure all of their body parts. So here I marked off, this is for a normal adult. I marked off 7 inches, and each inch will be the height of one head. If I were doing a chibi drawing, chibi is very popular these days, so and I use some of it in Naomi and the Dragon. With chibi, we'll only have 3 heads height. So if you want to see the difference, it's kind of like that. But of course, those are little tick marks on a line. That's not a head. So let's make them heads. This is a little morbid. I'm pretending that they're on like a pike.
This is a family-friendly show.
Family-friendly show. So you can see, I hope, the camera's kind of panning in and out there. The chibi one kind of looks like a snowman, which, yeah. And the other one looks like some kind of inchworm. So the top circle is going to be the actual head. And I'm going to draw just a line here so we know where the head begins and ends. And then the legs should be about 4. I'm sorry. The adult should be 8 heads high, not 7. I don't know why I did that wrong. Don't do what I'm doing right now. I'm eyeballing it. So the top head is the head. The legs are 4 heads. The upper torso is 2. So 4. Did I do that right? Yeah. 4. This is a 7-head drawing. So 4 heads for the legs, 2 for the torso. You can do 2.5 if you want to have a lanky person, and then 1 for the head. With chibi, you do 1 head is the head, 1 head is the torso, 1 head is the legs. So you can see where I drew my lines, just to break it up. If you're putting in a neck, necks are typically 1/4 of a head. So make a little mark just a quarter down from the top one. Chibi, you're not going to have a neck, or if you do, it's going to be negligible. So and then, by the way, where people bend, this is another thing that people will typically have issues with when they're drawing. People bend in the middle. So like right here, where the torso meets the legs, this is the waist point, and if I were having this person bend, I would have them bend right here. If it were an 8-head tall person, they would bend right directly in the middle. A 7-head, I might actually have them bend a little lower, just because typically we bend in half, kind of like folding a piece of paper, but people. So I'm going to give. Stephanie's laughing at me. When I draw people, the first thing I do is I do these proportions, and then I kind of just do big circles. If you're drawing a woman, typically you want to do circles. If you're drawing, a guy, it helps to do it a little boxier. Just because that's kind of how we exist, how he is. So she looks like, and then, you know, I also put a circle anywhere there's a joint. Now, if I were drawing a woman who was not elderly, I would probably also do circles up for her breasts. But she is elderly, and I really don't want to think about that. So I'm not going to draw that. Don't give me that look. Here. So that's my. It doesn't look like a person, right? But Steph, if you want to show the after picture real quick, the one you're
the one I'm
starting
drawing
to color.
Oh yeah.
That's what this picture looks like after an hour. So you know, you start with, but basically what you want to do is get your proportions. Then you start with big circles, and never press too hard. You always want to be able to erase if you do something you don't like. And then when you've got it, as you refine, what you do is like here, her hips are too big in this one, so I would make it a little smaller, erase the existing work. Then I would say, okay, clothing goes over her body, so I would put that a little outside of what I just drew with the circles for the body. If you're drawing somebody who's slender, you do the circles a little differently. If you're drawing somebody who's chubby, like me, you do the circle a little differently. Chibi, super simple. What you want to do is just focus on the big, poppy details. So, and again, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. So, if you look at the difference in the detail between, tilt it back up because I think I'm almost done my part. If you look at the difference in detail, you know, like there are no buttons on her sweater in the chibi one. There are no little like doily thingies in her sweater in the collar. She doesn't have any marks for her neck. I didn't give her the lines like the wrinkles for her face, because you really just want to focus on a few key details when you're doing that. And the reason you want to focus on those few key details is that's the whole idea of chibi. It's to accentuate the details, leave out the stuff you really don't, that isn't defining.
It makes it expressive.
And it makes it expressive because in this one, in this one, you can tell she's happy. And you only need enough detail of Naomi in this picture to know that it's Naomi. Mm-hmm. That's not really the point. The point of the picture isn't to draw Naomi. It's she's happy, excited.
Happy, excited, hooray!
So I am out of time.
You are? Oh, okay.
We'd said 10 minutes, and then some QA if anyone shows up.
Sure. All right. Well, I am going to talk about color, and I'm missing a color that I kind of needed for this drawing, so that's going to make this interesting. But that's okay. I can work without it.
Should I raid my kids' room?
No.
Okay.
No. It's a brown.
May I have a cookie?
I have an extra brown in here. You know what? Naomi's gonna be wearing violet pants today, I think. Normally her pants are brown, but today they will be violet because I can't find the brown. That's okay.
It's a bold fashion statement.
It is. It really is. Can you take the camera down for me?
And Steph, by the way, is that okay?
I think so. I'll move up. Yes?
Yeah, I can get out of your way. That's my job as the artist. Get out of the way. There's talent here.
You were about to say something?
Yeah. So what is it that you're demonstrating?
So what I'm demonstrating today is how we use watercolor pencils to color Naomi and the dragon. And I've already done inks on this particular piece of art that Toby has drawn for us. So all of the outlining is already done, and it's done in waterproof ink. And it is very important to use waterproof ink. I'm using Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Black 199. It is a waterproof ink pen, and you have to, you got to like look at the fine print on them and find one that very specifically says waterproof, because we are going to drench this drawing with water.
It's also helpful to get the heavy like drawing art paper.
Yeah.
You don't want to do this on the paper you pull off the printer.
Yeah, we actually use not for this. Oh no, this one's on Bristol board.
Yeah.
Do you want to get the Bristol?
Well, this is I pulled it out of here.
Oh, is it from this one? Okay.
Yeah.
So we used this drawing pad for this artwork today. Our actual artwork that we use for the comic book, we use Bristol board, which is a heavy paper, very suitable for ink and watercolor. So Strathmore Bristol. It's just a high quality paper that you find at the store, very heavy bond, etc. So one of the things that I do when I'm coloring Naomi, I start out with these colored pencils. These are Prismacolor watercolors. If you are familiar with the Prismacolor colored pencil line, all of these have a number on them, like WC2932 violet. This matches the violet in your standard Prismacolor watercolor or Prismacolor coloring pencil set, which are the more oil-based sets, which is really nice, because if I want to make Naomi and the dragon with that Prismacolor, that classic Prismacolor, look where it almost looks like an oil painting, I can do that with these. So very exciting to be working with these. I'm also using, I don't even know what brand this is. Oh, here it is. It's Ihio Sweet Secret Color Pencil. A friend of mine gave these to me for Christmas. They're good little colored pencils. They are watercolor. I do find that they don't take up the water as easily as the Prismacolors, but this particular one is the one that I found that had the right shade for Naomi's skin tone. So I'm using it, even though it doesn't pick up the color quite as readily as I personally prefer. But that's okay. I have little tricks for that too. And let's see here. What are we going to use for her walking stick?
Steph, can I ask, do you think we could put like a link to these different things, like somewhere
we could do that
in the project?
Yeah.
Because art's fun.
Art is fun. So again, I'm kind of missing some colors here, so I'm kind of making do. Normally the walking stick is a different color. So one of the things that I do when I'm working with these watercolor pencils is the lines that I use for coloring in will vary based on the shape that I want. So for example, I wanted her sweater to have this sort of almost knitted texture, kind of almost like a puffy sweater, because Toby has drawn it as a sort of, Toby doesn't want to talk about her bust line, but Naomi does have one, and it's it's there. It's not, she's not like a busty, you know, sex pot or anything. She's
Oh my
Naomi.
gosh. I'll never hear the end.
But she has curves along her body side. So because I envision her as being someone who really likes to wear a comfy sweater, this sweater should feel comfy. So it's all little tiny circles. The skirt is more like denim. And if you notice, denim tends to have sort of vertical streaking. So I gave it that look. The pants below, yes, Naomi wears pants under her skirt because she just does.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because it was fun. So her pants under her skirt are purple. I'm not sure why she's wearing high top chuck high tops, but I suspect it's because that's what Toby wears. But I'm going to make those black.
No, there actually is a reason. I couldn't remember what her feet looked like.
Ah, it's a good reason.
And I was looking at my shoes.
Got it. Okay, so I'm just going to color those in black. We may change her footwear. I think she was wearing like brown shoes before, but we might change her footwear later. I'm not too sure.
This is not. Don't quote us on this. This is not an actual definitive.
Right,
Naomi.
And then so for example, up here on you'll see there's like cross hatching up there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's cross hatching for the hat. Now, when I color that with the water, if the line on the cross hatching is strong enough, then the line will continue. You will still be able to see it. And so I'm going to start doing that. There's my water. I cannot count the number of times I have ended up with watercolor paint in my mouth because I mistook my drinking glass for my water glass in this process. So
yum.
Yeah, delicious. So here I have, and I have a little piece of paper towel because when I dip in my water, I will blot it by just pressing it against the paper towel once. So here we have, I'll start with her sweater, and I just do the same little small circles with the watercolor as I did with the pencil. And you can see that it just blends those up into this nice watercolor look. And I want to do each colored area separately. So after I do this, like I won't just blend right into her purse or her lace collar. And the reason for that is if I do them separately, the colors won't run together. If I wanted them to run together, then I would obviously run them together. So you can just see how that just, and I really feel like when we're doing this comic book, colored pencils are a very nice look. But for me, I am not a very practiced artist with the medium of colored pencils. And so for me, they always come out looking just a little bit amateur, which, you know, maybe that's true of my watercolors too. But I think that the watercolor kind of hides a lot of sins on my coloring. I just did her collar and cuffs. The collar and cuffs are done in a very light gray because I just didn't really want to have all the yeah. So here I'm doing her face, and it's hard to see on the camera, but again, that particular colored pencil it doesn't pick it up as easily as the Prismacolors do. It doesn't pick up the water. So I just have to, it's almost like I have to kind of press in and scratch it a little bit. Her hair, when I did the hair, I kind of tried to follow the grain of the hair that you would normally have. And I try to do that with the paintbrush as well. So you'll see that I'm going in.
Well, and hair's really hard.
Hair can be very hard. Here on the hat, I'm going to follow one of the cross hatching lines, but not both because, you know, just a little easier. One thick line for that ribbon. And then again, down here for for the skirt. Nice long lines for those, because at the end of each brush stroke, a tiny bit more paint gets left behind. So the end of the brush stroke is going to end up being just a little bit thicker. I need to be aware of that as I'm doing this coloring, and not have that the end of the brush stroke in the middle of her skirt, for example. You can see I kind of messed up and went a little bit outside the lines. That's okay. Again, the colored pencils hide a lot of sins. It is possible to erase the colored pencil if you get to it in about 5 seconds before it dries. It does dry pretty quick. It dries especially quick out here. We live in the desert. So you can just see right there, that's a comparison of the one leg that has been watercolored and one leg that has not been watercolored right there. It's a really good example.
You know, it's funny. I actually didn't. I don't think I've ever seen you do this.
Yeah.
Because when we were working on this before,
yeah,
I was busy drawing while you did this.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yep.
This is news to me. I don't know how to do any of this. I'm enjoying this.
All right, and let me get her walking stick here. Kind of like how that's looking. I might keep that.
Yeah.
That greenish brown. And there she is in all of her watercolored glory. She needs a few minutes to dry, but that's her. And then I'll probably do this other one, this little chibi one, using the same colors. I might not use as much detail in terms of the stroke and so forth. But we're actually going to take this picture that Toby drew, and we will make that available as a black and white printable image for our backers. You can print it out and color it at home if you want.
So that's kind of beginning to end.
Yeah.
How we make Naomi.
Pretty much.
Now, obviously, with all the pages in the comic book, we'll jam through this a lot quicker than we just did. Like if it took us 30 minutes, and that wasn't even counting really most of the drawing. If it took us that long to do each just picture of Naomi, December would not happen.
Most of our pictures of Naomi aren't that detailed anyway.
No, they're not.
A lot of them are, they're smaller panels, so we have a lot less detail. This is one of probably the most detailed Naomi picture that we do. And one of the things that I did when we started, I'm just going to riff for a little bit here because we've got time. It's 4 o'clock and we haven't had anybody drop by yet, so
nobody.
That's all right. That's all right. It's milk and cookie time, and we've had a lot of fun making our little video here. But I know we started a little bit late, but this is this weird practice that I did. So Toby had sent me a picture of Naomi, and I traced her outline, and then I went over with my colored pencils and I colored it in, just like you would with a coloring book. And while I was doing that, I made notation of which colored pencil I was using, so that on the comic book, her sweater will always be the same green.
Right.
Her skirt will always be the same blue. And
otherwise it's jarring.
Yeah. Since, can I reveal a little something about the plot?
But is it about dragons?
No, it's about Naomi.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure people realize that Naomi is playing hooky from her seniors cruise, because I've mentioned it in the description of the comic book.
And people can read.
People can read. Thank goodness. When she plays hooky from the cruise, this is all she takes with her. She drops her luggage off and.
No, that was a secret. Just kidding.
Little spoiler alert. It's actually
spoiler alert.
It's like on page 2, so it's not a big spoiler.
I want to riff a little too.
Yeah.
So This particular picture, this was a color test. You can tell like the skirt is brown in this, and we looked at it and talked about it and decided to go with more of like a denim look.
Because
I can't remember why.
Because it looks like a utility kilt.
It looks like a utility kilt.
We love utility kilts. They're awesome, but
I wish I had one.
Yeah, but it didn't seem right for Naomi.
But like, so this drawing, I actually made this drawing specifically, like I'd done like 15 pages in the comic book before I did this sketch, and this is the first drawing that I had done after about a 1.5-year hiatus. But we needed a logo for the project. You might recognize that from the thing that you probably clicked on to get here. So I was like, oh, I don't remember what Naomi looks like. So that was fun for me. That was like a rediscovering our little heroine, and then we had to do the colors. So this is not the original sketch that I had done. The one that Stephanie just held up is the original sketch that's colored. And then can I give a little secret, like an Easter egg? I draw everything except for a few of the backdrops, and I don't draw the dragon.
The dragon just appears. We don't know how it happened.
Yeah, I don't know where the dragon comes from. That I didn't draw that. I drew Naomi without legs, apparently, because she's a ghost in this picture, and like I put it down. I put out I put out some milk and cookies for the dragon fairy, and when I woke up and I went and sat down at my desk, kind of because it's 7 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to work, and I was like, oh, there's a dragon. And then I took a picture on my cell phone and I texted it to Stephanie and I said, look, it's dragon. And Stephanie said, why are you bothering me this early? No, that's true.
Well, the part about Toby doesn't draw the dragon is true.
I don't draw the dragon. That's true.
Yeah, so that's our little
Kickstarter
Live. Thanks so much. If you're watching this later, thanks so much for tuning in and sticking with us. And we hope that you pledge, or if you have pledged, we thank you for your support. And
pledge twice. I don't know. I actually don't know how that works.
You can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Don't worry about
it. But thank you very much for all of your support. Have a great weekend.
And just on a side note, if you have any questions about the project, if you have any questions about drawing or the watercolor technique that Steph showed, feel free to contact us through Kickstarter. That's something people can do, right?
Yeah, they can leave comments, or you can message us directly.
Either way.
Whatever. Yeah.
Either way, it's always fun to help people make. So
yeah.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Keep making.